Hello and welcome to Roundglass. I'm Vishvapani Blomfield and thank you for joining me in this session as part of a series exploring mindfulness of breathing called Beyond Breathing. And in today's practice, we're going to be learning a very different way to experience the breath from the more obvious way. What we're going to be doing is feeling the breath in the whole body. So, question, is there an image or is there a colour that expresses how your body feels today? So we'd love to hear from you and invite you to use the chat to share your experience of the body, but doing it in these terms. Yeah, my body feels this colour, or this is the image that expresses it. I remember when I was fairly young, attending a classical music concert. I hadn't been to many before. I think it was Mozart, I can't really remember, but what I do remember was the experience of being there, being quite distracted, a bit fidgety. But as I listened to the music, which was very engaging, very pleasant, I became more and more absorbed. And as I became more absorbed, I found that it wasn't so much that the music was coming through my ears, it was more that it was coming through the pores of my skin. My skin was tingling, my whole body felt alive, it felt sensitive. And so that was a very different way of experiencing music, but it was also a very different way of experiencing the body. And really the two weren't separate. And I think that was one of the kind of clues to what we're doing in meditation that helped me understand what meditation was about. In the mindfulness of breathing, we're focusing on the breath as we experience it. And that's rather different from anatomy. So you could draw a diagram of the breath and that would tell you something or other. Or you could look at someone else's body moving as they breathe. But that's different from how it feels to experience the body from the inside and experience the breath from the inside. And you notice all sorts of different things. So for example, some Buddhist traditions talk about the breath as prana, which means energy, but we could call it something like the imagined breath or the experienced breath. And so we can play with this in the practice. And we're going to be doing that today. We're going to be imagining or sensing that the breath, this imagined breath, is entering the body through different parts of the body and coming in through the pores of the skin rather than the lungs. So that might sound a bit strange. We don't have to believe it's literally happening, but it's a way of playing with the experience of breathing that can be very meaningful. So, see how it goes. Let's start by finding our posture. Let's just take a breath. And let the posture come with the breath, okay? So if we're sitting like I am or in a chair, just breathing in, and let the posture rise up, let it settle down, okay? So posture rising, body rising, and opening, and then settling as we breathe. So it's that sense of rising on the in-breath. The body rises subtly, or we can accentuate it, and the energy rises. And then as we breathe out, the body settles, and the energy settles, we settle down. And all of this helps us to really arrive in the body in the present moment, and let thoughts go. Of course, they'll come back, but just have that attitude of letting go of thoughts. So breathing, settling, just sensing the body resting on the earth. The way we do that is by noticing the contact points. So that's at the knees, at the feet, at the bottom. Also the hands. So these places, the body rests down. If we're sitting up, the body is in contact, and the weight is taken into the earth at these contact points. And as the weight settles down, we feel the touch, the pressure, the resistance. Breath flowing in, breath flowing out. Maybe taking this space to just check in with how we are today. How we are right now, how's our energy? Maybe just waking up. Maybe tired at the end of a long day, depending on where you are, what the time is. And we're sitting with that, not in spite of it, not trying to get rid of it, with that experience, however it is. So, feeling the breath moving in the body. Just noticing how the body rises and settles. Now you may wish to have a particular area of focus. The abdomen is a good one. It's the core of the body. You may wish to have another focus. Sensing how the tummy moves. So the abdomen stretches, swells, moves against your skin. Moves against the clothes. And taking our attention to the core of the body in this way, any sense of energy. It might be associated with something that feels tense or tight. Just let the breath flow into that area of tension. And as we settle in this way, we can have a sense that the breath rising and falling is also energy rising and falling. So there's the precise physical sensations, and there's the experience that goes with them. The experience of energy. As we breathe in, the body rises, and that energy rises. As we breathe out, it settles. Having a sense now that the breath is coming into the body from beneath. So if your feet are resting on the floor, if you're sitting in a chair, just sensing that the breath is coming through the soles of the feet, flowing up the body, and as we breathe out, flowing down the body, maybe flowing up to the tummy, and then down from the tummy to the feet. You may experience this as a flow, as a kind of tingling. And then the bottom, it's resting on the floor in some way, on a chair, on a seat, on a cushion, or on a bed. And where the weight presses down, feeling the breath is entering through the pores of the skin. And as we breathe out, it's falling away into the floor. Breath coming up from the earth, through the bottom, maybe through the feet. Like a tree with roots set into the earth that draws up nutrients and moisture. Drawing up from the earth energy, sustenance, breath. And as we breathe out, letting go all the things we need to let go of. Maybe thoughts, maybe tensions, maybe just breathing out as part of our exchange with the atmosphere, with the earth. Breathing in, breathing out, rising up, settling down. Now we're going to imagine or sense that the breath is entering the lower back. It's just flowing in through the skin. And perhaps you have tension or even pain in the lower back. So imagine the breath flowing into the muscles, the sinews, the fibers. Sensitive to this part of the body, to any sense of energy. We can imagine that the breath is flowing up the spine. Breath flowing up the spine as we breathe in, all the way to the neck, flowing down the spine as we breathe out, between the shoulder blades, down the back, to the lower back, and flowing out of the body. Now we're going to shift. Feel the breath entering between the shoulder blades. Just imagining or sensing a space between the shoulder blades. Imagine space between the shoulder blades and the breath flowing in through the pores of the skin. Now we're going to have a sense that the whole body is breathing. This energy is flowing in through the pores of the whole body, through the whole skin. Flowing into the core of the body, flowing out through the pores of the skin, as if the body is feeding on air. Feeding on light. Nourished. Taking in, giving back. So feeling the heart, feeling the belly. Breathing in to these areas, breathing out. None of this makes any sense, just following the breath in the normal way. Breath flowing. Then letting go of the sense of the skin as the focus of breathing. Just feeling the body. Feeling the body moving with the breath. Just settling, absorbing. Breath flowing in, flowing out just in the normal way. And starting to make a transition. Maybe take a deeper breath and let the body move with that breath. Maybe the shoulders want to move as you breathe like that. Maybe the fingers want to move. Maybe the neck. So making a transition. Transitions are important. They're part of this rhythm that we're observing in the breath, they're part of the practice. So it's taking some time to absorb, to reflect, and just to notice how was that, we're doing this very different way of thinking about the body and the breath. How was that? What was that like? Was that meaningful? Was it helpful? Was it not? We're exploring with these sessions. So whatever it was, just noticing that. So reflecting on what we just did, a normal way of experiencing ourselves is that we're in here looking out at the world from, somewhere inside our heads through these eyes. And to take a phrase from the Buddhist teacher Reggie Ray, this is what you could call daylight consciousness. Me in an environment looking around. But what we're exploring with meditation is what happens when we turn inwards. And really, we're exploring a new way of being conscious that's about taking the body in its own terms. And what we find is the body has its own ways of knowing. We could call that, if you want to be poetic, we could call this moonlight consciousness. And if you're new to meditation, then this might seem a little obscure. What is this all about? To start with, a lot of what we're doing in meditation is just learning to let go of thoughts, learning to be present, learning to settle, and then maybe using the space that affords to get a different perspective on our inner world, our thoughts, our feelings. We start to notice our habits, we start to notice our patterns, we start to notice the thoughts that go around in our head and what the stories that they tell us. So all of that is quite a lot to be getting on with. But along with that, something else is going on. And that's this moonlight consciousness. We're becoming open to the wisdom and the understanding of the unconscious mind. The sense that we have a way of understanding ourselves and understanding life that's not about what we learn at school. It's not about figuring things out. It's about knowing. And the body is an important part of that. The body in some ways, of course, is very familiar to it. I have been with this body for the whole of my life, by definition. And so have you. But with meditation, especially as we get into the things we've been doing in this course, beyond breathing, we're learning that the body is also mysterious, because the body, as I experience it, depends on my state of mind. So this is something that we can take off the cushion. We can become aware of the body through the day. You can just sense how the body feels. We can notice our energy. We can notice emotion and how that expresses itself in the body. So, in those ways, the body can be a key to our inner world. But also, of course, in keeping with what I've been saying, the inner world is a key to the body. So there's lots in this meditation, there's lots in the breath. It's not just about taking in air. I'm going to finish with some words by Rumi, which are very succinct and rather beautiful. And they are about the breath and its connection to our experience as a whole. So Rumi says, "Your deepest presence is in every small contracting and expanding. The two as beautifully balanced and coordinated as a bird's wings." So thank you for sharing this time. Please continue to explore your meditation practice with us. You can check out our daily live meditations at round.glass or on the app. So have a great day. Keep breathing and keep open to your body.